What rank, Zeke? And what do you mean? What do I mean? Champion 1. Diamond 3. There we go. Right. Diamond 3 2v2. Let's go. Yeah, send again, Henke. So we're falling too far to the side on this kickoff. This isn't a fast kickoff where you use the power slide and side flip to lock yourself in place and then boost forward, and it's not a speed flip either. This is just a push to the side there. So we want to work on that kickoff because now you're coming in so far from the side that the path to least resistance like for the ball is going to be over there. Like you show up late, so you show up early, but you know we want to be attacking the ball from here, like coming through the ball, and you can decide to left or right flip to push it. That's generally not where we want to show up. Unluck. Thanks, Farmer. Welcome back. You're just gonna start. No, don't start front flipping, dude. Like I want you to work on that. Use my kickoff guide, dude. Exclamation mark kickoff. You're just waiting for the ball to pop out here. So there you need to wait for the bounce a little bit more. You push the ball too early and now you're stuck with a ground dribble. Here, just wait a little bit longer for the ball to bounce. Keep it close to yourself because you don't. Like, Smuzz hasn't got past you yet. You want to see that Smuzz leaves you alone before you go into like a full dribble. So I'd say knock it up, see what Smuzz does, and then proceed. Don't just hit the ball away from yourself in this situation because you're not passing to anyone, and you're just going to be moving into the line of fire of Smooth. Like you've just and that opponent's stopped for you right away. So you wanted to keep that into a ground dribble, close to yourself, wait for the opponents to leave, and then take it slow. At that 100, look for a demo there. Oh, it's already gone off. But just rotate around your teammate. That's yours. So here, ball goes up. You should be looking for that now. If your teammate ever, or if anyone in the game ever does a touch that goes directly off the wall and back like this, it's generally a pass to the opponent. So you should immediately be turning to try and deal with this. When the opponent shows up before you, you can't really rush to get close to them because you are last right now. So as last man, you've got to make a better prediction on their attack. Like, so they're going to cut this behind you, as we've seen. But I would have just tried to have wasted time right now. So I would have turned initially to see if I could get to the ball. So I would have turned like this, and then having seen that that player was closer to me, I wouldn't have taken the challenge. Prof, thanks so much for the gift to Gabitza. Appreciate you, Prof. So I wouldn't have gone for the immediate challenge. I would have just then turned around like this, or circled back like that, depending on which side you felt like they were going to shoot. But I don't want to take this shot straight away or this challenge straight away. I'll go to the back post. I'll wait. Hopefully Gummy can come back and put a challenge in for me, or pressure the player into taking the shot as early as possible. And then what I'll try and do is just try and block the ball with the side of my car like this as they get closer. Just trying to waste time as the last man. Otherwise, don't go ahead of the ball. You've got to go for the ball in this situation. Like, just go at the ball. You've left like a bit of a wide path to the side of you here for them to shoot. You just need to go at the ball if you're going to go for the challenge. But yeah, there's two ways. I would have played this more defensively, but yeah, you can see that the angle that you're leaving to the right of yourself right now. You're going where you think the ball is going to be, but you just need to focus on the ball in this situation. That's a shout me. To take the 100 boost because your teammate's going to go for that one. Okay. take this in, oh, that's decent. So what I was going to say is, after this, just try and catch it into the sidewall. So I'd like a catch that would push the ball over in this direction, over there. Generally, what I want to see is you just let the ball knock off you, rolls up here, rolls up the wall, you get the 100 boost, and then you play out like this. So you're going to play out with 100, with momentum, and you can then start a dribble and a counter attack. I don't want you to... But you can try and cut the ball over here, but because this guy's so close, if you try and cut this, the player's more than likely just going to hit that and send it into your corner, and it's going to like be violent. It's going to bounce off the corner and come back in. The opponent and the other opponent could potentially do something on that. Take your time here. Oh, that works. Nice. So here, after this demo, you kind of get you've got a good advantage now because the opponent needs to turn around on this. Like the other opponent, which is did you get both of them? Oh no, sir. So the opponent needs to go around this ball, so that gives your teammate time. What I would try and do now is just like make this advantage even worse for the opponents. You can't score this right now, so like increase the advantage. Go for that 100 boost there. And then you can try to look maybe like pass back over there, or hit it off the backboard for your teammate. Like continue the damage that you've done so far by getting that 100 boost. You needed it anyway, but like that would have been more efficient if you had just gone for the boost straight away. That's smart. Take it to a 50. So what I want you to do is jump to the center of mass a little bit earlier. You drive challenge this, but your opponent has jumped, so you need to match their elevation. Don't sit underneath this challenge. You're just teeing this up for them to hit off your head. So when they jump, you need to jump center mass as well to kill this ball, to prevent it from being shot over your head and back into the middle. So you need to block. You need to jump from down here up to the center mass here. And then what I'd say is left flip or right flip. So right flip would push the ball out to the middle. A left flip would push the ball up the wall. The left flip would probably be safest because it prevents an immediate shot. So I think we want to work on our dribbles because you tend to drop these or miss them. We want to be catching these dribbles. That's like you try to do center mass here. But now flip off it, so you jump, and now here right flip, because we can already see that the least resistance is going to be over here. So if you right flip now, you will force that over here, like you'll make the ball spit out much harder rather than just roll out into the middle. So you can get the ball to spit out. No one will have clear possession. Your teammate can push up then and try and get possession, whilst you get some pads. Like so, after this, you're going to the midfield. You'll look for some pads to back up your teammate. That'll be a bit of an L position as well. Right, get some pads. So here, that touch is a miss. So here you should immediately try to boost and win, like boost towards the ball and take advantage of this now. When the opponent gets ahead of you here though, because you didn't boost, you just need to let them play first. They can't shoot from here, so there's no real need for you, no reason for you to commit to try and dispossess them. Just let them play, and like if they take it into a bounce dribble, then you can challenge them. So whatever you think this player is going to do, so if they're going to jump up and hit it over here to bounce back in, wait for that to happen because it's not a threat on goal. However, if they let the ball come down and they try and take it into a bounce dribble or a normal dribble and turn like this, that's when you would actually commit and challenge them. Like there's no threat, so you don't need to commit first. However, if you was a little bit quicker, you could have gone before them, but you didn't boost. Like you're last man there, so like you really don't want to commit too much. Like you need to reserve yourself. The biggest thing I'm thinking of at the minute is generally your dribbles You might as well put flicks in there as well, because you can train them at the same time. So here, that 100 boost would have been nice. Here you've only got 6 boosts, so we shouldn't be jumping up to challenge this. What we should do is drive forward just to make it look like you're going to challenge. And as soon as that goes over your head, now you can rotate midfield. You can look for 12 pads and make a rotation back. But don't jump. You're never going to get to this guy. Do you know what I mean? And you're using boost as well. There was no point in using any boost because, again, you're never going to get to this guy. So I'd rather you just drive towards him as a bit of a fake challenge. Make him think that he needs to play over you, take that, and then try and come back on some 12 pads. You're looking for back post. So your teammate would then deal with them in this corner, and then you'd come back round as the last line of defense. If your teammate doesn't move and just stays here, then you can probably turn in and make a challenge for them again. If this person continues to go through the corner and your teammate doesn't move out of net. But they have, so it's looking just like a back post rotation at the moment. That's unfortunate. So here, what I'm thinking we could do here is after you tap this up, we could try and demo Smuz in that situation. Or we could hit this back to our teammate over at midfield there. So I know we're really close to net at the minute, but we've got a terrible angle. We can't get back around this ball. We're too far to the left. We didn't look for the demo. So what I think you could do here is you could tap that back over to Gomez and then run over here to try and kill Fire Globe. So knock that to the right for your teammate to blast, and then you blast the opponent. So I don't think you should give up too much here. I think you should get that boost and now immediately turn. So get some distance, get some boost, turn around now, and then put some pressure on this. Try and see if you can shoot that. Or you don't want to jump up because you're last. But you should turn around for the opportunity regardless. So that would have been 1 boost, 2 boost, make a turn like that, and just have a look. Like the pressure's not over yet. We've still got a very good chance of scoring. And you can just generally wait to see what happens. So if Smuz manages to get a save that goes into this corner, you can then run over there. You can steal that 100 and try and keep the pressure going. If Smuz accidentally screws up, misses this, or backboards it into like the middle here, you've turned and you can commit onto that and try and score it, depending on how comfortable Fire Globe looks in that situation. But you know, we don't just want to walk away from this. The pressure is still on, and Gomi is not available to make that pressure because they're busy taking that 100. Not that you would have known that straight away, but you know what I mean? Like here, it pops up. You should think about rotating now. That pops up. That's a good chance. So get that boost, turn. You just went 1 pad too far away. And here with two players right in your face, you want to try and play around them. You don't want to try and strike at 2 players. Like there's too much potential for them to save this. So you want to get them out of the picture first. What I would like you to try and do in this situation is hit the ball up here. So drive towards the ball, slow down as you get to hit because you don't want to drive through it. So boost, stop, or not stop, but slow down significantly. Tap the ball up here to bounce back off, and then you jump up and strike that down. Because we've got to try and get up or around these opponents rather than just blast directly at them. Do you know what I mean? If you're not comfortable, like if it looks like they're definitely going to make a save, you could just play this back into the corner over here, steal the 100, and try like another center for Gomez, who probably turn on it. But yeah, just don't shoot at 2 well-positioned opponents because you're getting dunked, you know what I mean? They're going to counter-attack, they're going to send the ball far. So we either want to play this off the backboard or play it into the corner and try again. Don't be desperate, do you know what I mean? Don't just shoot for the sake of shooting. Thanks, Farmer, as well, for saying the green screen looks sick. I know I've missed that message ages ago, but... So here I think we power slide. Yeah, so the power slide's okay, but it's so. So we should push in there, and now that the opponent showed up, just turn around. Like I'd like to see just like a hard cut, 50-50, just get back. We don't want to go up the wall, because then we're going to leave way too much open space. We want to stay in the pitch, not on the wall. There's no reason to go on the wall here. So you're power sliding too hard. Or like you're drifting rather than just turning, and that's a bad 50-50. You got to make sure you block the path to net. So again, it's more of a side flip than a speed flip. Here you should be looking at the opponent. So the opponent goes out of reach, out of vision there. And we should have looked, before we committed, we should have looked if we could have actually got a challenge in there rather than just blind committing. So you're just a bit too close to your teammate here, because I don't think you can react to this. With your teammate pushing this in the corner now, I'd generally slow down and back off a little bit so that I can react to this a little bit easier. You come in with too much speed, and your last man there, you don't really want to commit hard onto this. Like you're actually just jumping into that. So you got to stop committing so much as last man, or hard challenging so much as last man. It's a good challenge there. Boost pads, nice. So here, like, you're trying to get underneath the ball, and you end up ahead of the ball as well. You never want to get ahead of these aerial touches, because the only thing you can do is backflip. So here, you want to present the path that you think the player's going to take. So if in this situation, we think the player's going to air dribble from... Let's say that they touch the ball here and they push it over there. We don't want to get underneath this, and we don't want to park ahead of it. Like, we don't just want to get there early and sit, because they're going to come down with power. Like, they're going to be boosting, pushing down, and they're going to get the ball over you, or they're going to get a better 50-50 because they're going to come in with momentum, whereas we're just sitting still. Your car's just going to get pushed along with the ball. What we want to do is predict this angle and try and come in and around it, or directly to the side. So you've got to look at how if their nose is on the ball, and if they're pushing it with their nose. If they're pushing it with the nose, you generally want to get ahead of it. If they've made some distance from the ball, like they've hit it and they're just trying to get down to it, you want to come from the side just to play the ball up the wall. Don't just try and park ahead of them. But you're just parking here, and he's going to push the ball over you. And now, like in this situation, all you can do is catch and walk away, or backflip. Right, your last, so don't challenge just yet. Now you can. Flick this guy, nice. Take this into, like, take a look around before you do anything. So, ball pops up. Now, as the ball's coming down here, ball cam off, so you can see if the opponent's around. Because right now, what you may not see is the opponent making a good turn. They could be just ahead of you right now, or they could have already jumped, but you don't see it because you're too busy looking upwards. So you need to turn ball cam off in this situation and focus on hitting the ball. Ball cam off, using the ground indicator to see where it is, rather than just purely focusing on the ball, because you're going to get yourself, like, the people are going to sneak up on you and dunk you in these situations if you focus too much on the ball. What I'd also like as well is that you get more around the ball and also try and strike it towards net on the bounce. Like we just hit that forward, pass it to the opponent. So we need more awareness in that situation. We need to use the half volley. Right, yeah, you get the boost. Take your time. Get around the ball. So you're taking too much time here. Like we need to prepare everything early. You should be looking at the opponents right now and thinking, okay, Fire Globe's out of the game because they've got to recover, and that gives me a 1v1 with Smuz. You need to capitalize on this one, potentially 2v1 with Smuz as quickly as possible. So what you're doing here, so you're here now. The ball's heading in this direction. And you're getting to the ball and then turning on it, taking your time, like trying to take this into a slow dribble. Right, if you watch, that you take your time, you get underneath the ball, then you take it into a slow dribble. So you do get around the opponent, fair enough. But what we should be doing is pre-planning this. So see that come out. You see the ball spitting. Well, as you, what are these angles? So we move over here, you get the 100, okay, ball's hit over here now. What I want you to do in this situation right now is pre-plan and get behind the ball early. So we should recognise that player's out of the game now, or they're going to take a while, and get over here early. So as the ball gets to this area, we're already around it. You go to it, and then take your time with it, and move around it. And it's like this extra time from here to like this turn here, which we lose on counter-attacking. So get around the ball first. Make sure that your first touch is going upfield to immediately put this person under pressure. If Gomi sees this as well, Gomi can turn, and then we get a 2v1 on the opponents. Gomi can look for a demo, you know, or a bump play, and you just get to walk the ball in. But because you take too long, Gomi has to stay with you, look after you, make sure that if you're challenged, that they're around. So here, see this slowdown? It's not quick enough. We could be doing it like get more pads. All right, so we get a few. We should be looking for these pads. So after this, keep your ball cam off for a second and make sure you get pads, and just make look for pads and make one good path. So what I'd think here is with your teammate going up for this, you want to be close. They'll probably just do that. This is it. So we would have turned ball cam off. We've looked ahead of ourselves. We've saw a line of boost pads we can take, or a path of pads. Made a decision and just got straight back in, where it looks like you're trying to focus too much on you're trying to look at the game. Just focus on getting your pads. You're not part of the play yet. You're last at the minute, so don't. Yeah, I was gonna say, just don't jump too early. Take your time. So here, this is where we want to see something like a bounce dribble, or a pass back to your teammate. But there's no threat here, so like either try and snipe the net if you want, pass to your teammate, or keep the ball to yourself. There we just hit the ball away for the sake, like you just hit it. Doesn't really accomplish anything. Nice challenge. Can't get the boost. Okay, he was already ahead of you. Just look for pads now because your teammate's taking a touch. So we should be focusing on trying to get 1 or 2 more pads. So after your teammate touches this, I'd probably turn left and get that next 12 so that I'm on 24. And no, yeah, so the teammate saves it, but at least I would have been ready with 24 if there was a good backboard opportunity. And knowing that this has been pushed over here, you want to go through some pads, through some more pads, so we could turn ball cam off and make sure we're pushing over here through a boost pad. So that boost pad to the right, we should have made sure we go through that. So that we show up with at least 12, and then we can maybe make a pinch on the wall, or we can use that 12 boost on a 50-50 or we can use it to fake challenge and run away by jumping, boosting, and flipping away. You're showing up to challenges with not enough boost, and that's a big commitment there. So your teammate was still on the wall the last you saw, and now you're going into a challenge with 0 boost, or you're committing to a challenge with 0 boost. As last man, you just can't challenge like that. Like, sometimes you can if you're right in front of your net and it's the last thing, but like, look how far you are upfield at the minute. You don't need to make a challenge right now. Like, in this situation, you see the player is about to hit the ball. There's 2 of them, so you're not going to beat one and then the next on just 12. Like, that's a fight you're never going to win. So it's fine for you to disengage here, run away, and get the next 100 boost, and then maybe go for a challenge. But you're challenging with little to no boost as last man in an area that doesn't need to be challenged. Like, you're too far up the pitch. I think we probably could have got... this looks like I can't hear because I ain't got my headphones on, but I can't tell if that was a single or double jump aerial. I probably could have been quicker to that, but... Right, so again, you're last. Be careful about how you challenge. These are the things that you want to be telling yourself. We would need to get a demo there, it would be nice. When you see your teammate, you didn't know the challenge with the... So I'll just go through those. So when you're last, you need to tell yourself that. You need to remind yourself that you're last. And remind yourself of how valuable you are. Recognize wherever you are on the pitch and think to yourself, do I really need to make a challenge here? Or can I delay this for a little bit longer? Like, try and take it obviously downfield closer to my net, but potentially give my teammate time to get back into the play and make this challenge for me. They could do it for you if you waste enough time. So you need to remind yourself or look for when you're last man and then make better decisions before you commit into anything. Here you're running back. You don't know that you can't commit for this challenge, or you can't commit for this 100 boost, sorry. You don't know how this has turned out, and you've already decided that you're going to get 100 boost. Right now, you should be turning into back post in case Gomi just straight up whiffs this, or they lose the 50, Gomi loses the 50-50, and the ball is still relevant anywhere around here where maybe not Smuz can attack it, but the other opponent can attack it. If you go for the boost and this is the outcome, it's just going to be a goal. Whereas if you had stayed at back post, you could make a save. Even if you do this and Gomi wins and pushes the ball upfield, you can just turn around, then you can get the 100 boost, or just try and push upfield, collecting 12 pads as you go. So right now you're just completely unfocused on a challenge which is right in front of your net. You should be ready. So we're kind of in L position here. We're ready to go. In L position, whenever there's a challenge like this, you're second and you're looking at the first player taking the challenge, this is always yours to push onto now. So that's the point of L position. Like, being in L position is so that you're following your teammate, and then when your teammate causes a 50-50, no matter which direction it spits out, you push forward to try and get to wherever the ball ends up going. Here you just turn away and let your teammate go again. But they need to land, they need to get the momentum back, they probably need to get boost back, need to reevaluate everything and where they want to position, whereas you can just push up. You're being, like, I know it's the end of the game, but in a, like, say like if that happened mid-game, you would have been way too passive for that. So through this replay, dude, I want you to work more on your dribbles, because you're dropping the ball a lot. I want you to look out for when you're last man. So generally, when you see if your teammate does anything to center or shoot, so say you see your teammates here, he tries to shoot or he tries to center, like backboard, or he whips it around the corner. Whatever play they make, you're showing up in the midfield, let's say. You need to remind yourself every time that you're last, and you need to consider whether it's worth actually challenging, or you need to like be making these decisions more, because no matter what, you just challenge 100 boost or 12 boost or 0 boost, you're just challenging, like whether it's an opportunity on net or the ball's in the corner. You're never considering whether there's two players that you can't take them both on, or depending on the angle, you can't take them both on, because like even if you've got 100, they both might have 100 and they're both ready to challenge you one after the other. So you need to be more reserved in the sense that you need to calculate whether something's worth going for based on how open the net is, how good the center is. Just be more reserved as a last man, and think about whether like when you're on the opponents are on the attack, whether you can waste a bit of time before you challenge. Like if you're taking a last man challenge here, don't go for it, fake challenge it and see if you can get the ball to be like, make a challenge that happens down here instead, rather than throwing yourself away too early. So work on your dribbles, work on your last man decision making, like think about whether you need to challenge something. And generally, when you get counter attacks, you need to prepare for them early. You need to get around the ball quicker and make sure that your first touch is going upfield, so that you can take advantage of maybe a player number disadvantage or something like that. Like if you have a 1v2 or a 2v1 in your team's favour, something like that. But you're trying to catch everything from directly. You're trying to do a lot of so when the ball is coming towards you, you're just trying to park next to it and then slowly turn the ball around, like you're moving around with it and slowly trying to move the ball around like that. What I want you to do is when you see the ball coming towards you, don't park in front of it, like don't just do that. I want you to get around it first, so that your first touch just goes straight back from the way that the ball came, or straight towards wherever it is, like the goal, the opponent's goal is. Like get on target as quickly as possible. I beg you to upload that 1v1 and do all the car noises. Shit. Shit like that.